This is the water test for the Otterbox Preserver for the Apple iPhone 5S. This is the case here. Genuine Otterbox Preserver case. Comes with the fingerprint accessible sensor cut into it, whereas the one for the 5 simply has a button there. This should work with the fingerprint reader on the iPhone 5. There's the case with the instructions and the wee lanyard still inside it. You can tell the case is genuine, generally speaking, due to the textured finish and the wave. And you have the holographic logo on the top. So basically the instructions tell you to do a water test for 30 minutes prior to putting your iPhone in the case to make sure that the case is not defective in any way. The way it tells you to do that is by placing a paper towel just into the case and sealing the case over. The case is then put into water for 30 minutes to make sure that it is watertight, at which point you take the case apart. If the towel is still dry, your case is good, and your phone can be put into it without worry. So that's the case sealed up with the paper towel inside it. All the ports are closed and the case is snapped together. If you have trouble with this case, it goes in from the bottom. You push it the bottom on here, and then you work your way around clicking it in. I initially was going at the side there, and that's not how it's done. It goes from the bottom, push it around. As you can see, case is completely sealed. There's the camera port, which has its own cover. You can sort of see that the fingerprint sensor there is much finer than the rest of the screen. As far as the case itself feels, if you ever had a LifeProof free, it feels very, very familiar. Feels very similar to the LifeProof free. I suppose that's because Otterbox bought that company out and have utilised their technology and come up with this, the Otterbox Preserver. So we'll go ahead now, get it in the water and make sure that she's working fine. So all we have to do to test the water, as per the instructions that came with it, test it for its water tightness and test that all the seals are working and that no water will get into your phone. Just fill the sink up with about 6 inches of water. Get the phone, the case, sorry, with a little bit of tissue paper. Put it into the water. It will float, obviously. Get a glass with a bit of water in it and use that to submerge it. And this test should take 30 minutes. So we'll just let it sit there for 30 minutes. We'll come back and check that the paper towel inside the case is still dry, and hopefully we'll be good to go from there. So approximately 30 minutes have passed since we put the case in water. We'll take it out now and see how things have went. Floated. That's a good sign. Still plenty of air in her then. It's hard to tell there, but we'll get a wee look at it now. Looks like that is pretty wet actually. Okay, so that's the case dried out. It's actually dry, it seems pretty good. The paper is ever so slightly damp. It's not bone dry, but it's by no means soaked. I think what we'll do is we'll give it another go. Can't see where the water has come in from. The screen itself is dry, so I'm not sure where the water has come in, but we'll give it another go. We'll set it aside for another 30 minutes see maybe there was an error in the case when I put it on, but we'll give it another go. So once again we have put in a little bit of tissue paper here, and we'll give it another 30 minutes. So we'll try again 30 minutes, see how it gets on. So we've had another 30 minutes have passed there. We'll give this a go and see how this one has went. Again, it's floated. Floating's good. We seem to be in a much better position this time. Towel looks pretty dry. Moving about freely. So we'll try it off and have another look. Okay, so that's it dried off. And the paper towel looks pretty good. We'll just crack it open here and check it. But that looks much better this time. So on this occasion, you can see the inside of the case there, it's dry. And there's our paper towel, which is completely dry. So we're good. Okay, so that's the phone has been water tested now, and the phone has been, or the case has been water tested now, and the phone has been put into the case. All the buttons work. They're quite responsive, work well. The fingerprint sensor also works, hasn't had any problem with it. And all in all, everything seems good. Hopefully the phone will never be in the water, but now, if on the off chance that it does, hopefully we're sorted and we're safe. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free. If you like it, feel free. If you don't, free world. Thank you. And just before I leave you, I will leave you with one final thought. Something that I always wonder about in relation to cases. What happens if there's a screen shield installed in the phone? Does it have to come off? In relation to this one, I have an invisible shield, a matte finished invisible shield installed in the phone, front and back. And as you can see here, it seems to be happy enough. The phone is working no problem. Say everything seems to be functioning, seems to be content with itself, and screen's responsive and it feels good. So that's the Otterbox Preserver for the iPhone 5S.